Everyone, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilikis. How you all doing? It's good to be back with another tutorial, which will be on how to make a double pleated maxi gown. Trust me, it's going to be very beautiful. Here I have 3 yards of fabric, and trust me, we are going to manage it. So now, if today is your first time of checking out my channel, you're welcome. Please make sure you subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures, and on Facebook, Sewing Innovations, and also my page, Bilikis Signatures. So now let's get to work. Now, the first thing is how to fold this fabric. So here I just have a paper to show you how to fold it. So remember I told you I have 3.5 yards. So this is 3.5 yards, okay, the width. And then the length is by 60. That's very important. If you are making this dress, make sure the fabric you are working with is by 60. So on fold here, I have 30. So and the 30 is so full. Now, how do you fold it? So this is 3 yards by 60. How I folded it is to first fold like this. This will be easier for you so that you will be able to differentiate the front from the back. So once you fold this way, then you fold this way. And with that 3.5 yards, I have 63 inches in length, which is just perfect for my size. So this is how I fold my fabric. So this will be the front and this will be the back. So you can see how easy that is. So this is what I have. So the first thing is the neckline, which will be the neck width. So I'm going to be working with 3 inches. This measurement is a one size fits all, okay? And it's maxi. So how to shapen it or make it fitted, I will tell you what to do, okay? So now for the neck width, it is 3 inches. And then for the back, that will just be 1 inch. 1 inch is fine. So that is it for the back. And then for the front, between 7-8 inches is fine. Then if you really want to show cleavage, you can do up to 9. But I think 7 to 7.5, 8 is fine. So I'm just going to work with, let me just do 8. So this is 8 inches. Okay. So at that point, I'm just going to go in by, let's say 1 inch, because the collar is going to be 2 inches. So 1 inch is fine. So now you can just link this up. So the neck width remains the same. So this is it. Can you see what we have done? And you see this 1 inch, you are just going to take it straight down. You will be cutting it off. So 1 inch straight down. So that's how it's going to go straight down. So now let's quickly talk about the pleats. Listen attentively here. Now the first pleat, where it's going to be, or let's say the sewing, because you are going to be sewing on the right side. So just measure 4.5 inches from the 3 inches neck width, or just measure a total of 7.5. Okay, so 7.5 inches is here. Just hope the chalk is showing. 7.5 inches is at that point. Now, because we are having it double, okay, all you have to do is to measure 2 inches. But let's say you are having a single pleat, just make do with 2.5 inches, okay? So now, I will first mark 2 inches. Then another 2 inches, so making a total of 4. So that is our first pleat. So again, 7.5 inches you mark, then from there 2 inches, then 2 inches. So you will be pleating at this point. This will be the edge of the pleat. So you now pleat it from here to there, okay? So that will be the first pleat. So then the length you want it to be, usually the minimum you can do is about 5 inches, and you can even take it all the way to your waist. So it depends on your preference. So to make it easier, so the first pleat, this is the edge of the pleat. This is the 7.5, then the first 2, that will be the edge. So you can just mark it to the point where you want so that you won't get confused. So let me check from here. So I have a total of 9.5. So I'll come here, 9.5. So I want it to stop about 15 inches to 16 inches. So you use your pressing iron to mark that point. So my chalk will later remove, so I don't have. So that is where the first pleat is going to be. So I will measure. So you can just have it all the way to your waist. So if my waist is 17, so I can stop around 16 or even the 17, okay? So it stops at this point. But the minimum you can do is 5 inches because it's kind of like give the bust area some fitting. Good. Now, since this is the first pleat, this comes to meet this. So you now create another 2 inches distance. So let me use another chalk. So this is the distance. So this is what will make the pleats for the overlap. I don't know how to explain that. So this is the space. So let me put X. Okay. So now we want to create another pleat. From this place again, you measure 2 inches, then another 2 inches. So since this will be the edge of the second pleat, I will measure it. Down here I have 15.5. I'll just come here and measure 15.5 since I want it to stop around here. But trust me, it can still come down because it is a free dress. So I can connect that. The next thing I'm going to do is to measure the total dress. Remember, we have 30 inches, and then for the collar we need 5 inches. Okay, for the wideness it's going to be folded to have 2.5. So half an inch is going to be seam allowance, and 2 inches for the collar. So you are going to remove that 5 inches from the 30 inches and you'll be left with 25. So I'm going to mark from the edge. I will mark 25. So here I'll be left with 5 inches, which is okay for the collar. So I'm going to measure 25 inches all down and mark. I've cut out the 5 inches. So we have a total of 25 inches here now. Can you see that? So I can remove this. This will be for the collar. Okay, so now back to this. So the next thing we need to do is, since we are done with the pleat and the neckline, we just have to cut these two out. So first I'm going to cut the back together. So that is it. Then I'm going to cut this the same way and then the 1 inch straight down. But please, you're only cutting the front. That is why it is good to fold this way. So I'm just going to pick this and then cut it all through. So can you see? So now this is the back and this is the front. So just notch the neck region here. So we are as good as done. So before we pleat, the last thing we now want to do is the sleeve. So for the sleeve, it is easy. Just measure 11 inches. That's good. For all sizes, 11. So this is 11. Okay, good. So at that point, we are going to come in by 3 inches. So 3 inches or 3.5, whichever one, and then you take it straight down. So you might be wondering, is it going to be fitted? It is the belt that's going to give it the fitting. So I'm going to take that down and also cut it. So you can either just sew it the way it is, or you can make a slight curve. And just make a slight curve. So I'm just going to mark it down. So in case you don't want yours as wide as this, you can still make it 4 inches or 4.5, but I think that's just fine. So this is what it looks like. So this could be used for the belt. Now, since we are done with this, we can start pleating. Okay, so note this is where I want it to be, or better still, I could just take it lower. It depends on your preference. My waist is 17, so that is it. Just mark around that point because we are going to need it for the belt. Okay, so you can even do like 2 inches above your hip. No, so you can do 2 inches above your hip should be like the max. Okay, so now this is what I have. So can you see? So this is how it looks on the lower part. Straight, 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 straight. So this is the shoulder area. Can you see what we have? So what I will do now is to take my time, okay, and just extend these measurements too, so that by the time I want to pleat and iron, because I'm going to fold it with my iron, so just take your time. Whatever measurements you have here, this is 9.5. I'll come down here and mark the same thing, so that I'll mark with my chalk. I'll be able to fold. So let me just extend the line. So guys, I've successfully mapped out all the mark. Okay, so I have 16 inches from the shoulder line. Okay, so times 2, I have a total of 32 inches. I might not have all these lines if I'm making without the camera, but I need to let you know what you are doing. So looking at it, how do you transfer to the back? You can just place a pin at the strategic places. Here, all those lines, just place it and then use your chalk to mark at the back. That is how you transfer. It's as easy as that. Okay, so once you are done with that, so now let us pleat, because we are going to the ironing board now to iron the pleat out. Remember, the red one is danger, so that's the space. So now the first pleat will be from here. So with the markings we have made, it's just going to be very, very easy. Okay, so I just feel I should teach like I'm teaching a child. So you can pin this place up, pin this place too, so this will match this. So that's where the pleat is going to be. Then I take this to match it up, pin it up this way. Can you see? That's the first pleat. This is the space. Then we go to this middle one, pick it up again, and this will be the second pleat. So now let me quickly go to the ironing board to iron it out on both sides. So that would make it very easy for you to sew. So can you see the first pleat, the second pleat on it? So let me quickly iron it out. I have ironed the pleat and you can see how beautiful it looks. I'm even thinking of taking the pleat about 2 inches to 3 inches below it, because now I can see what it looks like. So both front and back, so I've given it a good press. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to take the measurement of the neckline. So I still have my pin inside. So first I'm going to hem these parts, the sleeve area. Then if I want an elastic in it, I'm just going to fold 1 inch, quarter, then 3/4 of an inch for the elastic. But if not, just fold the the sleeve opening. I have sewn the pleats and this is what it looks like, and I've ironed it and it's looking so beautiful. You can see that. So it's looking so beautiful. I've hemmed the sleeve region too. So all I have to do now is on the wrong side, I'm just going to sew in 3/4 to 1 inch from the sleeve straight to the hem. So the next thing I'm going to do now is this. So at the back is the same thing. You can see that. So what the next thing I'm going to do is to measure the neckline. So you are going to start from the hem all the way up here, all the way down. So what I did is I have from this back neck, I have 67 inches down here, so times 2. So all I did was, remember the remaining fabric we had when we cut out the 5 inches, saying we are going to use it for the collar. So I have like 63 inches on fold times 2. So what I did is that long piece, I just cut out 67 inches in 2 places. Okay, so instead of that 67 inches, you can still add some inches to it. Maybe you didn't take your measurements well or whatever. So now I have 2 pieces of that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join this 67 inches on both sides. So this is it. Make sure right side are facing each other, and then sew in half an inch so that you have a very long fabric. Okay, so that's 67 times 2. So after joining it together, the next thing is to use my pressing iron to fold it. Okay, then we can start attaching it to the neckline. Another thing now we need is the belt. You know, I was telling you it's a maxi dress, so we want something to tighten it up at the waist. So here I created a belt. So the excess I had from these 2 fabric, I just cut out 40 inches from that. So this is 40 inches for the belt. So all I did is to fold. Okay, so on one side just fold, and then just create the style. It's totally optional because it's going to be inside. So once I have it now, then I'm going to fold to this side and then sew it all down to have these very belts I have here. So once you bring it out here, the next thing you have to do is just fold in about half an inch inward this way, and then just close it. So how do you now attach to the dress? Now the waist area, I already know that because if you remember, I marked out the waist area. So just take this part inside, all the way inside. Just use the pleat as an example. Okay, so where the slit is, just place the belt at that point. You don't need to stress yourself, and just tack it down. So you can do that on the right side so that you will tack on the existing seam, and that is all. So the belt will be inside and also inside here. That is all on that. The fabric together and then give it a good press. So this is what I have. I've pressed it all. So the next thing I'm going to do now is, and you see at this point where the joining is, that's where I am going to start joining the collar. So you can just pin at that point. Okay, so once you pin, what I do is to start at this point and then sew it all down, then come back to the neck region and then sew these 2 all down. I have attached the collar to the dress and it's looking so beautiful. Then on the inside, when you look at it, I tacked the belt in there. Okay, I've not sewn the side because it is better we finish up the collar before you finish up the side. It will be easier that way. So the belt is inside now. So the next thing we want to do now is this. You now overlap this collar. Okay, just overlap it this way. So the where the curve is will be a guideline. Remember that was the neck depth we made. So looking at it, where this curve is, just place it over each other so you kind of have like a V. Okay, so here you make it relax and then you just pin down. Can you see? This is what we want to have. Can you see that? Then you keep going and you make sure it kisses up just to have only one in the middle. Can you see? So this is how I'm going to sew it straight down. So this is what we want to have. So after doing that, then you can now decide to finish the side and then the lower part. So this is what I have. You see? So we've just made, and you can see how beautiful it looks like. I really like the maxi Bubu gown, yes, whatever you can call it. So the pleat is just nice, and then I'm even thinking of taking the pleat all down, yes, because I just love everything about it. It depends on your preference. Right now I'm not tying the belt, and you can see how free and beautiful it still looks like. So just imagine me tying the belt. This is what I'm going to have. You can see how fitted that looks. Yeah. So let me turn the back for you to see. This is what the back looks like too. So beautiful. Yeah. So if this is your first time of checking out my channel, please make sure you subscribe. And for online classes and sewing tools, use the number in the description box to get to us. I remain your girl Bilikis. Bye.